Rob Pilatus was born on June 8, 1965 in Munich, Germany. He is known for being half of the duo known as Milli Vanilli. His dad was an African-American soldier and his mom was a German stripper. He was put up for adoption and experienced a lot of racism growing up. He met Fab Morvan in 1988. They were both models and dancers. They were in a short-lived group called Empire Bizarre. They signed a contract with music producer Frank Farian without a lawyer present. They had no money and they wanted to be stars. Who could blame them? The only problem was that they couldn't sing. Fab was okay, and he's gotten better over the years. But here's an example of Rob in the studio.
Girl, you know it's true.
Their accents were just so thick. Frank came up with a plan for them to lip sync and dance to the songs they didn't sing on. They reluctantly agreed since they couldn't afford to pay back the advance they received. It worked so well that their first album had 5 hit singles. Did I buy and enjoy their debut album? Yes. What about you? They won a Grammy for Best New Artist in 1990. In June of 1989, while at a live show in Bristol, Connecticut, they were performing the song Girl You Know It's True. The song skipped. The song got stuck in the computer and kept repeating and repeating. They both ran off stage and Rob knew it was the beginning of the end. They demanded to sing on their next album and Frank decided to blow everything up. He announced that the group was a sham and they gave back their Grammy. He served 3 months in prison in 1996 for assault, vandalism, and attempted robbery. He turned to substances to help him deal with the humiliation he felt. Rob and Fab were in rehearsals for a new tour featuring songs from a new album with their real voices. He never married and had no children. He died in 1998 from an accidental overdose of prescription pills and alcohol. He was 33 years old. Dolores O'Riordan was born on September 6, 1971 in Ireland. She is known for being the singer in the Cranberries. She started singing at a very young age and had a unique voice. Her parents wanted her to go to college or become a nun, but all she wanted to do was sing. I was a fan of her and her band. What really pushed me over the edge was when I heard the song Zombie from their second album. She joined the Cranberries in 1990. They were impressed when she came up with lyrics to what would become their first hit song called Linger. The band would go on to sell over 40 million albums worldwide. The Cranberries released 7 albums and she had 2 solo albums. In 1997, the band took a break because of exhaustion. She admitted she was anorexic and depressed at that time. She was arrested in 2014 after an air rage incident. She had 3 children. In January of 2018, she drowned in her bathtub after a night of heavy drinking. She was 46 years old. Kristen Pfaff was born on May 26, 1967 in Buffalo, New York. She is most well known as the bass player and backup singer in the band with Courtney Love called Hole. She attended Boston College and graduated from the University of Minnesota. She taught herself to play bass guitar and formed a band called Janitor Joe in 1991. Eric and Courtney from Hole saw her play and asked her to join their band. She declined. Her dad later convinced her to give Hole a chance since they already had a record deal. Kristen appeared on the 1994 album called Live Through This. It will always be one of my favorite albums. She was close friends with Kurt Cobain. She used drugs a little before moving to Seattle, but she soon spiraled out of control. All of her friends were junkies. She decided to quit Hole and move back to Minneapolis. While in Seattle gathering her belongings in June of 1994, she overdosed on heroin and died. She was 27 years old. Mac Miller was born on January 19, 1992 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. His birth name was Malcolm James McCormick. He is known for being a rapper and producer. As a child, he taught himself to play multiple instruments. He wanted to be a singer, but rap took over his world at age 14. He suffered from depression and substance abuse. He released a few mixtapes and an EP before his debut album, Blue Slide Park, came out in 2011. It debuted at number 1, unusual for an independent release. Later that year, he was arrested for marijuana possession. He continued releasing music through mixtapes and albums. He started dating singer-actress Ariana Grande in 2016. His heavy drug use ended that relationship in May of 2018. He would only be alive 4 more months. He was arrested for a DUI and fleeing the scene shortly after the breakup. He died from a drug overdose in September of 2018. He had fentanyl, cocaine, and alcohol in his system. His drug dealer was arrested for selling him counterfeit oxycodone pills containing fentanyl. Mac was 26 years old. Chuck Mosley was born on December 26, 1959 in Hollywood, California. He's known for being the singer in Faith No More from 1984 to 1988. He replaced Courtney Love, who was fired. They said she was too controlling. He appeared on the albums We Care a Lot and Introduce Yourself. He laid the groundwork for Mike Patton's manic genius to take over. Chuck's behavior became more erratic as time went on. He punched bassist Billy Gold on stage, and his roadie got in a fight with guitarist Jim Martin, the metal dude, with Jim breaking his hand. Towards the end, Chuck only wanted to do acoustic songs. Billy quit, but the band decided to fire Chuck. This is when he started doing drugs. Chuck sued Faith No More for financial interests, and it was eventually settled. He was later in the bands Bad Brains, Cement, and VUA. In 1994, Chuck broke his back when his tour bus crashed. He had financial struggles towards the end of his life. He died from a heroin overdose in 2017. He left behind 2 daughters. He was 57 years old. DMX was born on December 18, 1970. His birth name was Earl Simmons. He was a rapper and actor. He grew up in Yonkers, New York. He had a rough childhood. I gasped several times while doing research. I could make 10 of these videos just talking about his troubles with the law. He was arrested at least 30 times for various offenses, including robbery, assault, carjacking, animal cruelty, reckless driving, driving under the influence, unlicensed driving, drug possession, probation violation, failure to pay child support, pretending to be a federal agent, and tax evasion. He had anywhere from 15 to 17 children. He cheated on his wife multiple times. He did occasionally make music. He did have a lot of hits. He filed bankruptcy 3 times. He was raised a Jehovah's Witness like me. That explains a lot. He died in April of 2021 from a cocaine-induced heart attack. He was 50 years old.
Warning. If you are easily offended, please leave this video now.
GG Allin was born on August 29, 1956 in Lancaster, New Hampshire. His birth name was, are you ready for this? Jesus Christ Allin, and I wish I was joking. He is known for being possibly the most controversial performer ever. There's a thin line between socially acceptable and degenerate, and GG left skid marks on both sides of that line. He described himself as the last true rock and roller. He was a punk rocker who would cut himself on stage and poop on stage. He took things to a new low by eating his poop, throwing it at the audience, and smearing it on the stage. Sometimes he would attack people in the audience while covered in blood. It's been said that people went to his shows to see his antics more than a real interest in his music. He always said he would kill himself on stage. GG had a fascination with serial killers. A lot of his lyrics were about violence and misanthropy. His father suffered from mental illness. GG was an alcoholic and a drug addict who was arrested many times. He died of a heroin overdose in 1993. He was 36 years old. Jimmy the Rev Sullivan was born on February 9, 1981 in Huntington Beach, California. He was a founding member, a songwriter, and the original drummer in the band called Avenged Sevenfold. He also sang backup and occasionally played piano. The Rev was short for Reverend Tholomew Plague. He helped form Avenged Sevenfold in 1999. An article about him in Revolver said Sullivan was, in many ways, his band's biggest personality, a fun-loving goofball who brought an air of mischief and unpredictability to the group. Known for his incredible drumming, his last drum kit had 3 bass drums, 11 cymbals, and 7 toms. Vinnie Paul once said Jimmy was one of the most creative drummers of recent times. He put his rudimental upbringing into his music, which made his music very challenging and dangerous. While growing up, he was neighbors with future bandmate Emma Shadows, and he became friends with guitarist Sinister Gates starting around 10 years old. He was in a few different bands before Avenged Sevenfold, and he had a side project called Pinkly Smooth. He never married and had no children. He died in September of 2009 from a drug overdose. He had these in his system: oxycodone, oxymorphone, diazepam, nordiazepam, and alcohol. He also had an enlarged heart. The band said Jimmy was not only one of the world's best drummers, but more importantly, he was our best friend and brother. He was 28 years old. Amy Winehouse was born on September 14, 1983 in Southgate, London, England. She's known for being a talented singer-songwriter. She won numerous awards, including 5 Grammys. Newsweek called her a perfect storm of a sex kitten, raw talent, and poor impulse control. She suffered from depression, bulimia, alcoholism, and heavy drug use. She was also a cutter. Her debut album, called Frank, was released in 2003. Amy has said that she was only 80% happy with how it turned out. Her next album was called Back to Black. The 2006 release made her an international star. Her song called Rehab was a massive hit. Many of her concerts ended early because of her substance abuse. She was often booed off stage. She was married to Blake Fielder Civil for 2 years. It was a tumultuous relationship that exacerbated her addictions. She was arrested multiple times for assault and drug charges. She died in July of 2011 from alcohol poisoning. She was 27 years old.